Good evening and welcome to Blockchain Banter episode 54. Chris, how you doing, man?
Episode 54. Levendi, we've done it. We've been going a year according to
day away from a year.
calendar. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
I'll never let you live it down. It's fine.
Bro, I honestly thought you were going to bring it up in the Sunday roast. I'm glad you didn't.
I actually forgot. That would have been brilliant roasting material.
I'm glad we didn't go through that and ended up getting roasted. I hope you forget for the next one.
Don't worry, I'll have my reminder set. I'm writing it down now. Remember to roast Levendi about 54 weeks in a year. Oh dear, I love it, man.
I can't believe I just wrapped my head around 55 weeks in a year. Bloody hell, man.
Oh, was it 55? I thought it was 54.
Yeah, it was 55. The number 55 just stuck out, and for some reason my brain correlated it to how many weeks in a year, and I just stuck to it.
It's all right. It's typical Android user behaviour. It's fine.
I had to get it. Look, just because you was a designated driver to the 3 Peak Challenge, and just because you was featured on BBC, I can't say anything else right now.
Yeah, celeb status, man.
What was the 3 Peak Challenge? Explain that, because I know, like, the only 3 peaks I've ever seen was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where the girl had three pairs of boobs or 3 boobs. So I wasn't sure what your free pick challenge actually was referring to.
I would have much preferred the Total Recall bird than actually doing 3 peaks. I didn't actually do it. I was the driver. So basically, you have to. The 3 peaks challenge is doing all 3 mountains. So Ben Nevis, Snowdon, and Scarfell Pike in 24 hours, but they're like 5 hours away from each other as well. So all within that travelling time and everything, you need to complete it in 24 hours. And honestly, I will hold my hands up. I was saying to Tom, this is easy. It's just like walking up and down a hill. You'll be fine. How wrong I was, because I was knackered. Literally, I was exhausted just driving, let alone them having to go up and down a mountain and everything. It was unreal, man. But Tom is unofficially the first ever Caspian to send a transaction from the peaks or all 3 of those peaks. I got 10 cash sent to my wallet from each one, and it was
but that brings a whole new meaning to all-time height.
Yes, love it. But it's quite a cool little challenge. I quite like to see people around the globe doing it, because obviously we live in England and everything we have here is shit. So even our peaks aren't that great or that high out the ground. But it'd be cool if people just go and, like, I was the first person to send, I don't know, a transaction from the Eiffel Tower or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It was just and this is the thing with advertising or marketing Kaspa, because we can all do it. Literally, just anything you're doing that's cool. If you're going on holiday somewhere, if you're going this, wherever, just do something with Kaspa, film it, take a picture, put it on as a post, and people, if it resonates with people, they'll share it round. And that's a good way of just getting the Kaspa's name out to as many people as possible. I think Tom's post he done about that done really, really well, and it's people have obviously resonated with it. They like it. It's quite quirky. It's cool, but people are sharing it around. And he's got like a relatively small account. I think he's like 400 followers. So it's not like he's a big name in the space, or big, whatever you call it, influencer or whatever like that in the space. He hasn't got a big account, but doing cool shit like that works. So yeah, if you think, what can I do to support Kaspa? Do that. Just do cool stuff. Whenever you go away and do something cool, do something that involves Kaspa, film it, take a picture of it, put it out for the world to see. That's if you're into that sort of thing. Some people are very private, and I totally get that. So that probably isn't the best thing to do.
I'm very private myself, so
yeah, no one knows you, Wolf.
no.
Love it.
Who is Wolf?
That sounds like a play, like a Broadway play.
Yeah, it does.
I could do a monologue. I'll stand there and talk about myself for an hour.
Oh,
Thanks for the title suggestion, Ashton.
I mean, Ashton, you're near LA. You could be like involved in the riots and you could be the first person to ever send a transaction from a riot.
Yeah, but then I'd have to participate in the riots and support the narrative.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna stay up in the burbs.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh dear, love it. Right, Levendi, what's on the agenda for today's blockchain banter?
Oh, we've got quite a few updates and people to hear from today. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of our guests up on stage right now. Wolf, Nacho, Zealous, Caspador over at Casplex. We've got Rubarbarian meant to be showing his face for, as well as Luke LD1 coming to say hi at some point of the show. So we've got an action-packed episode today, mate.
Lots and lots of exciting stuff to be spoken about as well. So I am eager to get into this.
Yeah,
a lot of alphabet dropped.
Lots and lots of updates as well. And also I want to say a big shout out to an OG project that's been around for a while on ETH. They're sponsoring my poker events today. So big shout out to Fun Apes.
Love it. We love the poker tournaments. When are you moving over to Cas though, Levendi?
Well, a little I'm working on a little something in the back end, actually. Some NFTs and relation to Kaspa. I don't know if I should say something else, but before I get shot by somebody. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm not gonna spill the beans just yet.
Fair. Right, who are we interviewing first?
So I wanna hear some updates from Wolf. I've been wanting to get to hear for the last couple of weeks, but we've not been able to get around to. We've had so many wonderful guests booked in, and we've just had so many updates. It's been awesome. So I want to pass the mic on over to Wolf first, and then from Wolf we go to Kaspa to hear all about Casplex and the testnet, and some big news over from Nacho Zella Swap Corner as well.
Sweet. Who's Wolf?
Yeah, I don't know. Who's Wolf?
Come on, big man. We all know who you are. Tell us what you got.
Well, not much other than BAU. So Wolfies is still growing, minting like mad. So we're now at 1,400 plus NFTs minted on KAS and 1,000 on Solana. So that's been going really well. Our treasury has been growing to a good amount, which if KAS does what we're expecting it to do, will give us the ability to expand quite significantly. So that's been going very well in that context. The coin's been stable over the last couple of weeks, even though we had some jitters that does very weird things. So that's fine. So yeah, overall it's just very BAU, quite normal. Just going through the motions. Community's happy, everybody's happy. Yeah.
Good to hear, man. I've not actually. I've been so busy. I've not even looked at charts recently.
Yeah.
It's been insane. But I always know you're working hard in the back end anyway, so it's good.
Yeah,
and it's good to hear the minting's going really well as well. I mean, that's a hell of a lot to mint out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just because it's a real business, so you just do your business things, right? So it becomes quite automated and standard, which is good. It's exactly what the product is and what we've been selling. So yeah, it's exciting in that context. And other than that, I've just been doing all the things that you guys have been doing, testing Zelio Swap and exploring all of these new things, taking meetings with Igra Labs, those types of things. So yeah, all good.
Love it, man. Did you know that Tom came into Wolfie's Bar on Sunday?
Yes, I saw the tweet. Yeah, did a reply and a boom.
Awesome, man. He absolutely loved it there. He took his missus there, had something to eat and something to drink, and yeah, he's had a happy time. He paid in KAS as well.
Yeah,
so oh yeah, you did tweet. I remember now. You said my favourite miner or something.
Yes, yeah, it's the Wolfie's Bar miner, right? If people purchase it with KAS. So Wolfie's Bar is quite a nice ecosystem now because we've got a real miner in the stockroom also. So a real miner, and we accept KAS in front, so it's full circle.
Wait, did you say you got a real miner? How are you feeding him, and what axe is he using?
Well, I mean, this thing. It's a South African porridge. You call it Morvite. It's a porridge that they created in the 80s. The brief that the mines gave the person who developed it was that I want a porridge that if you give a person one meal or just this porridge, he gets all the nutrients he needs for the whole day and be able to do that. So I used to eat that when I was very young. It's horrible tasting. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that sounds absolutely jank. But I'd give it a go. I was going to say, what do you solo mine or do you mine with Catpool or someone, for example?
I did mine with Catpool, and then we moved over to solo mine. So Cash Ching, which everybody knows, he's very into mining. I mean, he made all his Cash Ching through mining, so he's very well versed in it. And we were talking a lot about how the fees that's going to start getting added to blocks, and how we should get ready for that, especially when smart contracts come in. So we've done our setup in that context. It's interesting. I mean, with the hard fork, because we've got those 7 big miners and 1 small one. And with the hard fork, I mean, it's like every 15 minutes or so, a block is found. It just runs like crazy. So yeah, it's been doing really well, and I think we've done maybe 20%, 30% better with the solar mining than we did running for a pool. So yeah, it's been great.
Fair play, man. Absolutely love it. I'm actually running. I'm putting my full 400 gigahash over to Catpool. No big deal. But I'm actually loving it. I was solo mining before. I like to sort of split between the two. I like to solo mine sometimes and then Catpool. I love Catpool because it's quite easy for me. It's like automated, isn't it? And the dashboard's really cool. I'll get to look at that.
Well, it's hashed and right, so it's great.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing with Catpool, because I talk to Ashton quite a lot. When I do something completely stupid, I can just say to Ashton, I think I've done something wrong. And then he can help me. So it's cushy. Awesome, man. And yeah, is there any more updates for Wolfie's Bar?
No, I mean we're good to go for our development in South Africa. So everything there is already ready, contract-wise, etc. So yeah, we're just waiting for the funds to mature, and we're a bit of a limbo at the moment, just waiting for cash to go up, same as everybody. But it's one of those things, and I've spoken about it before. You're in such a weird position if you're a CAS owner at the moment, because a part of you hope that we keep on testing the 5 cents so that you can purchase more of it, and then the other part of you knows somewhere it needs to go up again, or else it doesn't make any sense. So it's a struggle.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying as well. And it's one of those things. Sometimes, like, I think a lot of the time in the space, people feel like they have to do something. They're either in or they're out, and they're trading it and blah 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 blah, and like each to their own. But like, sitting on your hands and doing nothing is actually a position in itself, and it's one of the hardest positions you can take, because if you're watching something that you value over on the long term, but it's like everything that you're seeing about it's negative, your brain starts taking over, and or not your brain, sorry, your emotion starts taking over, and it can be a scary thing. Everyone goes through it. It's like everyone does, but that's why I like always focusing on the tech of Kaspa, because if you're focusing on the tech, you understand actually what this is, and it's so much more. People want to do well in Kaspa, like, that's understandable, but there's so much more benefit out there than just what you can gain in a fiat world, if you know what I mean. Like for me, of course I want to get wealthy. There's nothing wrong with that, but also beyond that, I want to make sure that my kids have somewhere that where the globe's going at the moment, it's going more and more centralized. I want an option of being decentralized as well, and I want my kids to have that option as well. And then you get the framework of everything else that's getting built around it. It's going to help industry, and it's going to do this, and it's going has the potential to help industry to do this, that, and the other. Even just energy markets, it can actually genuinely be like, I know Kaspa Kai are really looking at making net zero sort of. I can't remember all the fancy terms, but basically they don't want it to cost anything to run a miner. And that's actually helping the environment. That's a really good thing. So yeah, Kaspa's, to me personally, Kaspa's so much more than just making money. Making money's cool and I love it. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's so much more than that to me, and that's what excites me about Kaspa.
Well, it's also, I mean, in essence, we need to get to a point where you don't measure CAS in dollars or pounds, but you actually measure CAS in CAS. So that's what we're all hoping for. But I mean, if you look at some of the things that's coming through now, I mean, even Casware that's doing the POS system, which I have been promising I'm going to test, which I haven't yet, but I'm going to try and do that this week. I mean, this is such epic products and things that's starting to come through, and we know that CAS will be the dominating crypto in the future. I mean, technology is just exactly what it needs to be. So yeah, it is a difficult thing to wait for it to go up, but also wanting more of it in the process, because you know with a certainty that it's going to go up. But yeah, I think that's where. Oh yeah, I saw Levendi posted it on the Jumbotron. We actually do have promotions going on in Wolfies. We have promotions every month, but I forgot about these promotions. We're doing a promotion where if you mint 2 Wolfie Spore NFTs, you get thrown into the pool, and the pool will have a lottery at the end of the month where if you win, you get 10 Wolfie Spore NFTs. If you get second, you get 5, and if you get third, you get 3 NFTs, Wolfie Spore NFTs sent to you. And then we have some with coin also, where you can win if you buy a certain amount of Wolfie coin, you can win more Wolfie coin. And then Cash Ching did one or promotion on his own, and his promotion is that any person that mints a wolf that has got a black suit, or wears a black suit, he's gonna give 1 million Wolfie coin to. Now 1 million Wolfie coin at the moment, it's like 1,000 cash, so it's not a bad thing to win. Yeah.
That's pretty badass. And plus, I think I love suits. I'm a big suit person. So having a wolf in a suit is right up my alley.
Well, I gave you the ginger wolf, didn't I?
Yeah, you gave me the flat cap.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Peaky Blinders, ginger wolf. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was me. It was
I know.
perfect.
When I saw it, I remember I saw, I need to give this to you.
I absolutely love it, man. It is a really good one. The artwork's fantastic. I've got to say that. It's like, because it's all hand drawn as well, isn't it? It's really, really well done.
Yeah, the people are quite enjoying it. It was something we spent a hell of a lot of time on. I don't know how long other projects take to do the art, but our art took almost 6 months, and we were sitting with an artist and went through every aspect of it meticulously, and we wanted everything to be reflective of reality. So the background had to be Wolfie Spore, so she actually painted Wolfie Spore elements of it in there, and the characters need to be reflective of us. I remember the first wolves, we had to have quite a few discussions about the wolf's shoulder width and how big and muscly the wolf was, because the original wolf wasn't that muscly, which was not going to work. So we spent some time in that regard. And then the one that's the most important to us is actually the wolf cups. The wolf cups is very special because the wolf cups is based on Little Wolf for us, and that's what Wolfie Spore is based on also. So it's always very special every time we see a wolf get minted, and they look epic. There's such cool wolves out there. And then also, of course, wolves are extremely rare. I think there's only like 1,000 of them in total. So they're like the rarest, one of the rarest characters that you can receive. So they're quite cool.
I absolutely love that as well, and I think I always liked that that Wolfie's bar is actually like inspired or you it's for Wolfie, isn't it? It's for your son.
Yeah.
And I really love that. Even down to the giraffe you've got in Wolfie's bar with the chandelier hanging out of his mouth. You got that specifically for Wolfie.
Yes.
And I love that. I love those little. It's really it gives it a real heart, doesn't it? It gives the business a real heart. Even if people don't realise it to you and to your family, it genuinely it's part and parcel of what you're living, if you know what I mean. So it's cool. I really like that.
Yeah, I agree, and I spoke about it a couple of times now when I've done my posts. But what's really important to move forward with anything is energy, and you only get energy if you have emotion about things, and you're only going to have emotion about things if you're passionate and believe in what you're pursuing. So a lot of times in regards to growth and business, or even if you're just pursuing some sort of objective, is always just to find the passion within the project, find the thing that drives and gives you the energy, and then the rest will solve. I had a few, me and Crypto Ninja exchange voice notes quite a bit through the day, which is always fun because his voice notes always have a tractor in the background, so you always hear him grafting and tractors making noise while he sends the voice note. And he was telling me about something that he's doing, which he's very passionate about. And he said he saw one of my videos where I was talking about how you don't always need a plan. You just need some balls, and you need to go for things, because if you have the right passion and the feel for it, you'll solve it on the way. You'll get it figured out. You'll adapt. You'll pivot. Where some people, they plan so much, and they call it paralysis analysis. They plan so much they never move forward, or they spend so much resource on things that's actually not important. So yeah, it's important.
Definitely agree with you there, man. And I can see Crypto Ninja's actually got his hand up. Speaking of the devil, let's see if we can hear a tractor in the background.
Yes, 2 South African accents is great. At once.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
Very well, thanks, mate. I'm not sure if it's you speaking or Wolf.
It's me. It's me. Can you hear the tractor? Is it loud enough?
Yeah, I can certainly hear the tractor, man. Got to hear that V8 going.
Yeah, well, this fucking tractor today, excuse my French, but I broke the lever off where you go from park into low or high range. I was just moving it, and the next thing I had this steel gear lever in my hand, and today I'm struggling with this thing, and it's hot as hell in this glass box, so not having so much fun, but at least I could tune into blockchain banter, and that makes it better. So that's always epic. But while I'm on the mic here, yeah, just thank you, Wolfie, for that. You actually mentioned it before I could have, but a lot of the fuel behind my fire with the project that I'm in, Gas Lords, has also originated from my relationship and time with Wolfie since earlier this year when we met, if you can call it that. Just going for stuff and not waiting for all the red tape and the ways and figuring out all that nonsense. Just pay as you go, man. Just keep going. I mean, if you have an honest heart and no bad thoughts of, say, rugging or bullshitting people or whatever the case might be, just go for it. Like whatever comes your way or in your way as a speed bump, you'll figure it out, and the community will help you through it, and people will help you through it, because yeah, otherwise there's a lot of stuff that wouldn't have happened to this day. And yeah, thank you for that, and just thank you for everything that you've been doing for us all, Wolfie. And I got my gear. I did post some pictures for those who are in the Wolfie TG chat, me flexing my physique in the on the farm there with my Wolfie's clothing.
Yeah, you're the only one where the cup actually looks normal size so far.
Yeah, I think you sent me a smaller one to make me feel better.
No, I think I said you the big one.
You South Africans are built different, man. Like it's completely different to real humans. You're not real humans at all. You're just on a different genetic level.
You know what was funny, and this is really not to brag or anything. It's just a story, because I don't think it's something. I think it's normal. So I recently moved to a new province here in Canada and work for a new farmer, and so he gave me. So I live on an acreage which is part of my job, whatever. And so he gives me this push lawnmower, which I have to obviously mow my lawn. It's a few acres, so it takes. I do about an hour and a half to 2 hours average per night after I farmed, and then by the time I'm done, after a week, then I have to start again. It's kind of I might just put a sheep there to do it for me or something. But then when he gave me the push mower, he said, yeah, just push it to your truck there, and I'll help you load it now. And as he's coming out the building, I'm busy just picking up the mower and just putting it on the back of the truck over top the end gate. And when I turned around to go back to the workshop, he was just standing there, and like I was like, "Are you okay?" I thought he was getting a seizure, and he didn't understand how that worked. And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. It's just what we do. South Africans, we fucking lift stuff." Yeah.
I mean, South Africans should be just good enforcers, really. That's what you should be, just enforcers. Bodyguards and enforcers for everyone. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, well, I'll let you guys continue with the program, and I'm just happy to be in a field where I have signal and can listen to you guys while I'm rock picking and sweating my ass off here. But yeah, thanks for the space, guys. Always great info and alpha here. I'm looking forward to what's left in the rest of the space. And again, Wolf, thanks for the mentorship and the empowerment. And yeah, I sent some alpha to Wolfie to view. So that's where that comes from. But thank you.
Anytime, buddy. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, legend, man. Thanks for coming on and speaking to us, especially seeing as you are in a tractor. I know how hot they can get, man. Especially when it's a warm day. It's horrible. So yeah, fair play.
yeah, it's
Good to hear you.
so
Yeah,
fun. You go for it.
my blue. I normally there's this. I personally think it's the best on the market. It's called the Blue Parrot, like blue, the color blue, and then parrot. It's headsets for truckers and farmers. I think it's kind of the focus point for it, and it generally has one ear cup and the other one is open, so that you can always hear the machinery. But it's also very good with noise cancellation and so on. But the one that I have, I bought it in 2020 when I originally went to the States for the first time, starting to work on the farms. But it's busy shitting the bed now. It doesn't, like, even on a full charge, it lasts like sometimes half an hour, sometimes an hour. So now it's getting a bit more challenging for me to be listening and doing all these things. Like right now, I'm driving the tractor and then picking up the rocks and doing the things with one hand and then holding the phone with the other hand close to the ear because the noise is so much that I need to hear you guys. So yeah.
Well, I appreciate the effort, man, and thanks for stopping in to Blockchain Banter. Hopefully, we can get you through the next hour or so at least. If you can hear us.
Yeah, no, I'll have a sore arm because I'm bicep flexing, obviously, kind of to keep the phone up on my ear. But I'll be here unless the signal cuts me out. I'm here.
Well, I'm glad that's why you've got a sore arm and not something else. But I appreciate you being here, bro.
Okay.
I know what you farmers are like. Awesome, man. Thank you.
Okay.
Wolf, did you have anything more you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just gonna add that I always enjoy when we have the discussion about t-shirt and hoodie sizes. If I'm talking to other South Africans, because the discussion is always like, how big is it? It's like, okay, but what do you wear? What do you wear? So I can get some measurement of it and I have to explain it. Because my brother has got a hoodie and t-shirt, so he's got the 4XL that we've got on the thing, and if it fits him, it can fit any human.
Yeah, I mean, he is actually the definition of a house.
Yeah, he's big, 6'8". In pounds, what's that? 360 pounds, and in kilograms, he's 169 kilograms, and stone, he's I think 25 stone. So yeah, he's a big human. He's always been. He's exceptionally strong. We had, I remember, when we were growing up, because he was always this size. When he was 12 years old, he was this size. And when we were growing up, my uncle once moved. He bought a second home at the beach, and had a bunch of furniture he wanted to move there. So he had this big trailer which they hired, and the whole trailer was filled. And then they noticed that it doesn't have a lock or a mechanism to close it. And my uncle said, like, what must I do? And then my brother walked over and he grabbed a steel rod that was laying there, and he just put it through and he bended it close, locked the whole thing up with the rod. And I remember my uncle looking at him and going, okay, Dirk, that's great, but who the fuck's going to open it for me when I arrive down at the sea? So, another story.
Absolutely love it, man. You guys are something else. In fairness, you're not human. I don't believe it. Or you're at least part bear or something. It's like, or part wolf, I suppose.
I think it's South Africa's a resilient country, but it's when you grow up there, your environment is actually a little bit hostile and dangerous, but there's a element of that you're supposed to be in it anyway, and you should be exploring it and enjoying it. And then through that process, you build confidence, you build strength. All of those things just start manifesting. Why? And South Africans does. I mean, if you look at the stats out there, South Africans does exceptionally well. At the moment, there is 5 billionaires in South Africa, dollar billionaires, but there's 22 South Africans that's billionaires outside of the country. That's actually moved to other countries. So it's the South Africans do they are quite successful and motivated and strong, and they tend to just get on with things. So yeah. Anyway.
How many of them are in Kaspa though?
I don't know. I mean, I've got about 6 members now, South Africans. So it's growing. It's a lot more. My idea is that once we open up Wolfie Sports South Africa, I want to, when we build it, do the Kaspa integration way more. So like have prices and cash and have a special for people that if they purchase with gas. I really want to push that narrative there because the community there, it's a community that still uses a lot of cash, so actual physical money, and they're very prone to self ownership on everything. So I know that the environment there is ripe to onboard people at mass once I'm there. So I'm going to try and do that. There's actually a town in South Africa called White River, and the whole town runs on Bitcoin. So all the shops and everything is running. You can purchase houses with Bitcoin, cars, you name it. The whole city is Bitcoin. So clearly clearly there is the opportunity to do this in regards to CAS. So I'm very eager to get that across once we start, and it's going to be part of my franchising model. And I'm thinking about other things also, like putting a miner in each franchise and running a node in each franchise and expanding and building it from there so that you have the full cycle, and you support it all. But that's the ideas.
That'd be so cool, man. I personally would love to see Kaspa being used, like even if they're like the sort of first movers, like on the continent of Africa. If they started using Kaspa, I think it would be awesome. Because as far as I'm aware, like obviously there's some countries in Africa that just their banking system is just horrendous, and it's just they don't trust banks, or banks are just they're like, we know what banks are like in the West. They're not the greatest, but like in Africa, it's like apparently really bad in some places.
Well, it's also to do with accessibility. So one, physical locations of banks aren't always near, and then the second part is if you do online, there's not always traditional KYC type of things which you can present. A lot of people there don't have any identification, and so they can't set up these applications or products or banks, and then you don't always have consistent internet, you don't always have consistent electricity, so those things affected. So I know like half of my staff in Wolfies in the Web3 space are from Africa, and I pay all of them in crypto, and they run their whole lives with the crypto that I said. I don't know. I should actually ask them how they do it, whether they transition it back into the base currency or if there's other aspects to it. But Africa definitely runs in that way, and Africa is also. So I don't know if you guys have seen or noticed that yet. I don't know if you can do it yet, but in Africa, in South Africa, you can send money to a person's phone via text. So you can, if a person just gives you his phone number, you can send him money. A link goes out to him, and he just clicks it and it downloads into his bank account, whatever bank account he wants or want to do.
You can do the same with Western Union now.
Yeah, and that really manifested in Africa because of its accessibility and ease, and because everybody had phones at least. So I think most probably continents like Africa are going to be crypto dominating in the future. It's really gonna
Bro, you're not wrong 100%. I saw, I like my numbers, so I come across some huge numbers just in Nigeria alone, right? The usage, the people that are using crypto to send money to each other just in Nigeria alone is huge. It's like an untapped market, and it takes a couple of hoops to go through for them to get their money through crypto. Fiat is another thing. They've got the link, they can use it, but crypto usage has become more and more a thing over there. And these stats blew my mind. I posted it in the BB chat.
I remember,
the other day. I'll pin it up. I'll find it now. But yeah, this conversation reminded me of that.
Yeah, it's epic. Yeah, go for it.
I was just going to say, but even like Western Union, like when they do things like that is so parasitic, it's unreal. Like 30-40% they get charged just to send money back to Africa or to anywhere with Western Union. But like that is huge. If you've made some money back in the UK and you send it back to Africa, you're losing 30-40% of its value just as a fee to Western Union. It's unreal. And this is why I think like just use Kaspa. Literally, just use Kaspa. It's secure. You haven't got any worry about because again, you like with Africa, some countries can suffer from like extreme dictatorships and things like this where they won't let you access your bank, or they won't. They want to know everything you're doing with your money. It's like cash withdrawals and things get halted, and all sorts of things happen. From what I've read, anyway, I've obviously never experienced it, so please tell me if I'm wrong. But from what I've read and seen, it can be a nightmare for Africans just to access money. It's unbelievable, and it's their money. Like for when people send it over or whatever like that. With Kaspa, it solves all of this. It's permissionless. You don't need anyone's permission to send Kaspa. You don't need to pay these massive high fees that you get with Western Union, and that's why I think continents or countries like that can really thrive with using Kaspa. I think, and in a weird way, where infrastructure isn't like amazing, for example, in Africa, but it's at half decent level in the Western world, times change and things shift. So if you look at, for example, London Underground was like the best thing to ever happen to London back in when it like in the 40s or whenever it was
1900s. The first trains went in the 1900s. They actually had steam trains that ran in the underground in the beginning. So it's very, very old.
I love how you know more about my country than me.
Let me tell you another secret. The London Underground, the guy who patented and designed the method to build the tunnels, because he designed that method where you draw and then you do the concrete right behind the draw to build the tunnel up. His name was Lockhart, and he's a South African. So the London Underground originated from South African also.
How amazing is that?
Yeah.
But if you look at London Underground in 1900s, like revolutionaries, unbelievable, first of its kind, blah blah blah. Like it was incredible. Now it's so far behind other people that developed it later because tech got better. So now we're just patching up something that's old. If we needed to fully redo the London Underground, we'd have to like seriously redo it. Instead, we just sort of patch on what we can when we can. Whereas people that are developing, say for example, now have the best. Like Japan, for example, I know it's not underground, but the bullet train, like, and their mag trains that they've got, they're just the ultimate trains ever, because they had, in a weird way, an advantage of waiting for tech to get better. And I'm hoping that's what's going to happen with places like Africa, where okay, they may not have the best tech at the moment, but they can now implement the best tech at far like before, say, Western worlds get there. And I think it's a seesaw. I think it will change.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean this other aspect to it. the West has become too expensive to do anything. So one of the reasons why infrastructure can't be built here is because anything you build here takes 6 times or costs 6 times the price. I was reading they were doing, so there was some nuclear power plant that they had to get approval for to build in the UK. And the whole power plant, the approval of it took 12 years to do and cost 250 million pounds. So that's before you put a single thing in. It was just getting it through the planning process. And I was reading the other day where the planning cost of a bridge they want to build over the lower Thames in our area, that the cost of the planning exceeds the cost of Norway's bridge that they built. That's twice the size of the one in London they're going to build. So it's just become too costly. That's where it is, and there's a lot of argument around it. Where it is that originally, what the West did is they moved all the labor to cheaper countries, and now the living standards and everything in the cheaper countries are moving upwards. And now everything's becoming exceptionally expensive now. And because we're decoupled, we can't counter it. We have to accept whatever price these things are because we don't manufacture anything anymore in this country. And then if you add the money printing that we throw on top of it and all of the bureaucracy we throw money away on, it's just the West is in such big trouble. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I think Ashton might be able to speak on that one because
yeah.
didn't they build they've built like 4 train tracks and it's cost like 32 trillion or something insane, like the America's
Trillion.
deficit.
Yeah. Yeah, the California high-speed rail is a prime example of this. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor in, I want to say 2007 or 2008, that championed the ballot measure that got it started. And legitimately, they've built like 119, well, they've started construction on like 119 miles of the track, and they just like announced that it was going to be delayed to like 2033 and cost 300 billion instead of the original 100 billion. It's exactly what he's talking about. It's all bureaucracy and middlemen trying to get extra approvals and funds routed their way. And I mean, we will never get a high-speed rail. It's just very clear that that entire project is designed to line pockets of someone.
And but this is the other interesting thing with that. It's so hard to actually track that money and to see who gets what and blah blah blah. Whereas if everything was run through Kaspa, you'd be able to track it.
Oh, absolutely. We'd have a Cass under page just to shame all of the companies stealing from the project.
100%. It's unreal, really, what they're doing. And it is exactly what you're both saying. The bureaucracy and the red tape is just so far beyond what anyone can probably realise that it's actually at our detriment. It's at everyone who lives in these countries. It's to their detriment. And thankfully, well, I say thankfully, there's swings and roundabouts to everything. But I'm hoping that infrastructure in like African continent or just like even in like the Far East and Thailand, things like that. I think they're going to get ahead eventually. I think we're going to sort of plateau and just stay where we are and just upgrade bits here, there, and everywhere and patch on. And they're going to get the best tech now. And then give it another 100, 200 years, it will all swing again and the West will get it and blah, blah. I genuinely think that's how it goes. I think it's cyclical with us.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway is just middlemen are always the problem. And that's why, you know, the space we're in and decentralized permissionless access is so important. The more middlemen you add to any system, the less efficient it becomes, the more expensive it becomes, and more importantly than anything else, the more ripe for fraudulent behavior it becomes. You need just independent access to things that can move forward. And I mean, comparing like what China did in the same amount of time that California's been working on this high-speed rail, it's crazy, the comparison. You have way too much bureaucracy, too many middlemen trying to get a cut.
Yeah, totally agree. It's insane. I've completely forgot what we were talking about. This is just completely derailed, pun intended, because of obviously the California thing. But Wolf, Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we've covered from Africa to the West now: infrastructure, development, bureaucracy, politics, the economics of it, money, supply and demand, and how cash solves everything. I think that's it, right?
Well, I think we should both be expecting a knock on the door from Keir Starmer for our use of language.
Yeah,
but
probably.
hey, price of freedom, baby. Levendi, who have we got next?
Next up, I want to hear from my friend Kaspa. If you've got any updates or if you want to go over what's going on at Casplex for the new listeners down here in the show.
Sure. So, Asplex is on the right path, I would say, in testing the layer 2. As last week, there are no severe issues. However, for the last few days, there were in my opinion, some good questions asked by the community, well-known community. Questions around security, audit, team, and other stuff. And we are working internally to cover everything, just to dismiss any FUD, and at the same time to answer any legit questions. At the end of the day, everything is legit if it's asked in a proper way. But coming back again, Casplex is doing the testnet is working fine. There are no issues, no blockers. There's nothing there that should stop Casplex to provide the next steps and details on the mainnet. I have no idea when the mainnet is, so that's still TBD. And then I also saw something interesting, but maybe this is just me, and I speak on my behalf. I'm not speaking on Casplex behalf. I saw some old accounts, X accounts, Twitter accounts, that started to raise, I would call it a soft FUD. And again, this is just me, it's not Casplex point of view, trying to somehow minimize the importance of the work and of the layer 2 that is being built. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who's first, be it Spark, Ligra, or Casplex. What matters is for community to feel safe, right? And in crypto, there are people that are choosing to show their faces and have a, let's say, a public speaking and presenting themselves, or there are people that are doers rather than, let's say, thinkers or show-offers, right? So Casplex team is based on doers, and the team is large. It's not like 1, 2 people building something. The team is way larger. But these fresh accounts, fresh between codes, because they are very old, like 10 years old accounts with barely any posts. They started out of nowhere asking what seems to be at the first glance very legit questions, and I'm happy to address those, and we will do that. But again, maybe it's just a conspiracy in my mind, but things are starting to heat up. And the difference between me, like Caspador, again, not Casplex, I don't go into internet battles, and I saw some very low level wannabes, leaders of this space talking bullshit, and sorry for my French as well. They are trying to portray themselves in key opinion leaders, right? KOLs, and they're trying to push the boundaries for all projects, not Casplex only, which is again a good thing, but it really is important on how we are doing that. Anyway, I will not call names because I never do call names, but the day will come when I will call names with proofs. And this is not a threat, and this is like, at the end of the day, everyone should know who wears what mask on. Hence my tweet about masks off. And some of those um, are evidently focused on harming Casplex. But at the end of the day, everyone can say whatever they want to say. It's their right. So it's a still democracy out there. This will not affect the development of Casplex. We are on track. Again, there's no, let's say, any specific issue. Of course, I'm not a person to go into the very, very nitty-gritty details of technicalities because I do not know to cover them. But at the end of the day, for the end user, what counts is like the layer 2 will come. Doesn't matter again the team. The layer 2 for Casplex will be audited and publicly available for everyone. Which is a funny thing because when KRC20 opened, no one cared about that. But anyway, this is like to get legitimacy and be, let's say, well viewed by everyone. I do agree that some information must be released. So in a nutshell, Levendi and everyone, all is good. Love the fathers and the words behind the scenes. Love everyone that is trying to achieve I do not know what. For me, the ultimate goal is to provide the community the tools needed for them to build, explore, and at the end of the day, showcase the power of Caspa. Everything else is just noise and frustrated people thinking that they can do some, I don't know what, on the X echo chamber. At the end of the day, we'll have smart contracts, we'll have TApps, we will explore Caspa, and everything will be just fine.
Very well said, Kaspa. And again, that's something I actually struggle with quite a lot, is trying to decipher what is FUD and what is genuine questions. But I think you get a knack for it because sometimes getting context is really, really hard in written form. You don't know if someone's being sarcastic. You don't know what angle they're coming at. So it's really hard to get that sort of, are you fudding or are you actually genuine in asking a question? So I normally always give the benefit of the doubt and then start giving answers. But you sort of start realizing quite easily when it just seems to be a constant attack vector for them rather than listening and saying like, oh, that's good, but what about this? That's fine because you can sort of carry on the conversation, but you understand that they're trying to look from a different point of view. But I get what you mean. Sometimes people are just so focused on one thing, it does just become FUD then, and it's quite a hard thing to differentiate. Can't say these words, but yeah, I totally sympathise with that, man. It is hard work sometimes.
Chris,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. I'm not complaining, man. And be it FUD or pertinent or let's say valid question doesn't mean it's bad either way, right? So it's very good at the end of the day to ask everything that you want to know to make sure that whatever you're using, it's gatekeeping your money in a safe place, right? So again, don't take me wrong. I'm not saying don't stop asking questions. No, go for it. But just look between the, let's say read between the lines, and you'll see who genuinely asks something and who is like bad intentions. But again, doesn't really matter. And I had another tweet saying actions versus words. Sometimes it's better to hype useless shit and present copy paste the app as an ultimate success for whatever you are building. Everyone can hype, everyone can do whatever they want. I see Ashton that has his hand raised for a while now. Go ahead, Ashton.
Big mistake, buddy.
Uh-huh.
No, you may actually hate me for this, but I've been kicking around this thought for a couple weeks, and you hinted at the fact that you don't know anything about mainnet for Casplex. So to everyone listening, it's just a hypothetical question, Caspador. We don't know anything, and I know you can't say anything, but wouldn't it be cool if Casplex's L2 launched on June 30th, just like their KRC20 protocol did last year?
I never thought about that, Ashton, and I cannot hate you, of course. But and there is, to be honest, and I'm fully honest here. There is no date set in stone. I'm truly honest. So there's not like a timer saying how we have 3 days, we have 1 week, we have 1 month. There is a end goal, or let's say targeted date, and coder of stuff was asking last space what would be the definition of done, or when are you happy, right? So in the light of the last events with all the questions, I feel like those are firstly to be addressed. Clear, share whatever can be shared, and then make sure that the testing is going well. And as far as I see, it goes right, very, very well. What I do know is that the bridge is not yet is not included in the testnet, right? So the bridge between the layer 1 and layer 2 and vice versa, so between Kaspa and Casplex and Casplex to Kaspa. So that is subject to maybe testing and further development, sorry. But at the end today, if I read everything, I would say, in my opinion, totally on let's say technical one, we should be good to go even tomorrow. But it doesn't mean that we are going to do it, because we need to make sure that everything works perfectly fine, and we cannot share some details that others can, and I'm going to be blunt, fuck it, can steal and then say, ah, we had this idea, and they are struggling now on some bottlenecks. They're trying to figure out how to fix some things. And then there are these voices saying, ah, you are not open sourced, ah, you are not sharing this and that. We will be open sourced and we will share everything, but not at this point in time, right? Due to obvious reasons. And because I tend to speak a lot, Ashton, it would be great to have that on the 30th, but I have no clue on that when what the actual date is.
Reasonable, makes sense. Sorry to put you on the
Ah,
spot,
no worries,
and
always.
I agree with you. You've got my official request to make it June 30th, just for the fun of it.
It's a good idea. Yeah, definitely.
Casper, are you going to make a special confetti page again when Casplex go live on mainnet?
It was a nice thing, and to be honest, I had no clue the confetti, not the confetti, that the sound will be there. Because obviously I don't know how to properly code, but I don't know functions. I do understand what each function is doing and so on and so forth. But when I put that together, I didn't see. I put it like, let's make this clear, like using Claude AI. I haven't read the line playing the sound, right? And Kaspa Silver was hosting this YouTube live crescendo countdown, and then the pop-up and the sound was like "Woo, confettis," and everyone was celebrating. And he said like, "Oh, I didn't know that was going to happen." To be honest, I didn't know either. So I didn't know either. So I can just replicate that and put it whenever we have a fixed date. But knowing Chris and being from Casplex, they are the last ones to actually say we have 8 days, let's start the counting. No, they are saying we should be good to go. Let's do some more testing. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow, or maybe in 3 days, or maybe in 1 week, so on and so forth. So I cannot have put that together because I don't know the date again. So I'll happily do the confetti page again, but I don't know for which date.
I love it. Can you just set it for the 30th anyway, just as a just in case?
It will create false expectations again.
Yeah. What about just an internal one that we can look at the back end?
I'll create a page for blockchain Banter saying fake timeline. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fake timeline just to satisfy Chris. Yeah, it'd be fantastic. I'll get you an avocado.
See you soon, man, and we'll have lots of avocado at Wolfie's place.
Love it, man. Thanks, Caspador, for coming on and sharing what you've got for us. Really appreciate it.
Nothing much, but for sure, once I have something, I'll share. Thanks for having me again. I'll mute and listen.
Legend. Thanks, man. Levendi, who do we have next?
Next up, we're going to slide on over to Ashton. It's only right since he asked that awesome question to Caspador. Yeah, I want to hear all about what's going on in the ecosystem you've created, Ashton, over at Nacho.
Thank you very much, Levendi. Happy to do it. I'm going to try and run through these a little bit fast because we have more than normal announcements for today. So I had put out a really long tweet last week talking about a poll that the Nacho community had created for rebranding, miner rebranding. So that was nearly unanimous, actually. I think there were like nearly 300 votes for yes and less than 5 for no. So the community was pretty much in agreement. And folks out there may have noticed small changes. All of the old links still work and everything forwards properly. So there's no lost marketing or access or anything, but you will be able to find the most up-to-date version of the website at nachothecat.xyz. And the X handle, if you notice, for this profile I'm talking on is Nacho the Cat, obviously with the K for cat on both of those. So we've seen some updates there. There were some community members talking about the bio of the Nacho X profile. That's been updated too, just to make sure that we are providing the most honest, up-to-date, relevant information to everybody. So that's first minor update. Second thing I want to talk about was cat pool. We've been working for a little while on essentially breaking out the stratum from the pool code to be able to geographically distribute it. The goal here is really just to make sure that miners are connecting to a server that is very close to them from a geographic proximity to reduce latency and have better mining experience. And I'm really excited that we finished that over the weekend. So probably within an hour or two of this blockchain banner space, I'll create a tweet and announce all the details. But there's now 6 stratum servers around the world, everywhere from Sydney to Seattle to Virginia in the US to Hong Kong and Singapore, one in India. So globally, all miners on Catpool should have significantly better connection and stability on mining to the pool. And there's a pretty cool little wizard that actually helps you figure out which server your miners are closest to, and then set your difficulty so you've got the best experience on Catpool. So that's a pretty big update that people have been waiting for a while, and it was one of the last things that we needed to complete to get the pool out of beta. So we'll test this for another week or two, make sure all of those distributed stratums are working properly, and then after months, officially have Catpool exit its open beta and be completely production ready. So that's
sorry. I was literally trying to speak then, but I had it on mute. Because that's actually a massive update there, which I didn't know you were going to be speaking about, which is awesome. And I also mine to Catpool, so that's another awesome thing for me personally. So with the stratums being so spread out now globally, if one goes down, does it and you're on that, you're connected to that stratum, does it switch you to another one automatically?
Yes. It does. So essentially the existing primary server that runs the pool is based on the East Coast in the US, and that connection domain that everyone's using right now is cas.catpool.xyz. So you'll notice on this updated page that you now see like a country or continent acronym in place of that CAS, right? So for the one in Brazil, I think it's SA, South America, catpool.xyz. So if any of these distributed stratums fail or go down, or a hosting facility is doing updates or something, miners will automatically fail over to the primary stratum, cas.catpool.xyz, so that they have essentially the same experience they have now for that short period of time where the stratum closer to them is located and down. I could have done that better. Does that make sense, Chris?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, and that's absolutely awesome. Like I said, at the moment, Catpool's got my full 400 gigahash, so no big deal. You're welcome.
Dude, it's making all the difference.
Yeah,
putting us right over the edge.
Love it.
Yeah, so Catpool definitely more stable, better connection for people. So we're excited because we've had anywhere from like 600 terahash to 1.5 petahash running on the pool, and that's a lot of people's miners, right? Comparatively to the whole network, it's a very small percentage, but when you think about individual community members mining, I mean that's their entire fleet of miners, right? So it's going to be nice to give them a better experience and have more consistent share acceptance numbers and connection reliability for those miners.
So cool, man. Yeah. So did you say you're going to put out a tweet after the show?
Yes. Yeah, I was one of the next things I'm going to talk about here. I took up most of my time this morning, so I haven't got to. I was hopeful to get that page actually merged, the PR for it merged and released before the show, but I did not get there today. So probably another hour or two.
Awesome, man. Any other updates?
Yeah. 3 others actually. I'll try to
Oh
be quick.
wow, great!
So next thing I want to talk about real quick is Moonbound. Over the last week and a half, or about week, I guess, since the last Blockchain Banner show, we have squashed 22 different bugs that were shown to us or found from community member testing in the closed beta that's going on. And we've introduced an entire new Redis cache layer that improves the experience on the site significantly. So things like the trading view chart actually updating as buys and sells happen on Moonbound. Better speed in getting comments loaded or trade history loaded, things like this. So all of those are live now, actually. And all of the closed beta testers are running through testing for that for another day, maybe 2. And then this should go public to everybody to test. Again, it is just on the testnet for Casplex, so nothing's real here. You can't actually cash out any assets, right? You've got to use the faucet to get some testnet cash to do it. But we are making huge progress. I mean, the difference on that site, from this morning to last, Wednesday, Thursday is just significant. So I've got a shout out to Alex and Magic Cat and Kyrat and the developers working on this. These guys are fantastic and just moving at light speed.
So good, man. Me personally, I really, really, really want to see Moonbound do well. And it's because of the sort of the byproduct of Moonbound doing really well is obviously the Kaspa Alliance for Transparency that's been set up will benefit greatly from that. And by benefiting greatly from that, because that's a non-profit as well, isn't it? It's something that's set up for or you're wanting to set up for growth in the actual Kaspa ecosystem, so it can give out funding, it can do things like this. So for me, that is just like Moonbound's awesome. I'm not knocking that, but it's the byproduct of what Moonbound can actually do for the whole Kaspa ecosystem that genuinely really excites me.
Could not agree with you more. It's it is a well thought out, well oiled flywheel and a positive flywheel for people. I mean, not only is the big portion going to the nonprofit you're talking about, but we've incentivized people to be excited about Moonbound, right? If you're a Nacho Cats NFT holder, you're sharing in 10% revenue. If you're creating a new project on Kaspa's L2, you're sharing in that revenue. If you just stake Nacho tokens, you're sharing in that revenue. So it's designed to drive everything back to the Kaspa community for further growth. And you kind of teed me up for a perfect transition, if I'm honest. The next thing I wanted to mention is very brief. Obviously, this is a long road of setting up the nonprofit and actually doing everything legally and getting it all structured properly with decentralized governance. But we did release the official website of the foundation last week. So if you're interested in learning more about the plans there, you can go to kat.foundation and you'll learn more detail about what's going on there and look at the actual foundation charter and some of kind of initial team members that'll be chaperoning this until the gov system's ready and things like this. And again, for the perfect kind of transition here, one of the things you'll see listed on the CAT Foundation website is the Kaspa Experience, which is the first event we're going to be hosting, an in real life event in Berlin this September that is designed to showcase a full-fledged Kaspa economy for one day. So we'll have numerous food and drink vendors, product vendors, merch vendors, and some of them here on stage. Wolfie's going to be catering with Wolfie's Bar menu items and his staff. Rock the Kaspa will be there selling merch. We have another merch partner in Germany that does more like streetwear styles. He will be there as well. And there's a number of other sponsors and ecosystem participants that we're working on to get there. But September 13th in Berlin, we're hosting it at a place called Atelier Gardens. And it's not your typical hotel conference setup, right? This event is really designed to be kind of part conference, part festival, But really the overarching theme is this Kaspa economy, where users will buy a ticket to attend the event, and they'll actually get half that ticket back in CAS as they arrive to spend on site. So a ticket costs $150. As they arrive, they get $75 of that back in Kaspa on a hot wallet to use, a hot mobile wallet, I should add, to use on site for interacting with different vendors and sponsors and buying merch and food and drink and things like this. The whole goal here really is to create kind of friends and family experience, right? I think a lot of us in crypto, and we've heard a lot from people in Kaspa about how they really want to get, you know, their mom or their dad or their brother or their best friend or their colleague into CAS. And this is your opportunity to grab a couple tickets, bring a friend or two, and introduce them to a real thriving Kaspa economy live on site. So we'll have speakers, product demos. We're building out a scavenger hunt plan for the attendees as they arrive so that there's some fun prizes that incentivize people to go check out all the different parts of the ecosystem. So sponsors will be able to put activities on the scavenger hunt list and say, hey, you know, to check off, you know, your fourth item on the list, you're going and minting this free NFT that shows that you were at the Kaspa experience, right? Your kind of permanent ticket receipt and things like this, so that any user, whether they're already in CAS, they're in another ecosystem, or they're just brand new to crypto as a whole, can come and experience what transacting with CAS is in real life and start really, I think, getting the gears turning on what this technology is capable of. And as a side effect, creating some really amazing marketing material that we can all use for years to come on showing really, you know, what transacting with CAS in real life looks like.
Ashton, honestly, I was so waiting for you to get to that update because it's something that I'm really, really excited about. I absolutely love the idea of this as well, because there's been some awesome Kaspa conferences and things like this, and Kaspa being part of maybe bigger conferences, and it's worked really well. I mean, that face-to-face aspect of Kaspa marketing it's really good, and I think it's been amazing for Kaspa in general, for adoption and for pushing out marketing. I think it's really you build a connection with the people you're talking to, and it's that face to face. I think it really works well. What I really love about this and what you're doing with the Kaspa experience is people will actually be using Kaspa to buy things from vendors to all different types of vendors, convenience shops, Wolfies, our shop, loads of other different merchants, and you'll all be using Kaspa to purchase that. And I think that for me is massive, because it's actually showcasing Kaspa's tech. It's showcasing how great it is. It's showcasing how you can just transact within seconds, and I love that. I think, like you said, if you're someone who's in Kaspa and you love Kaspa and you've been beating your friends and family's head about getting to Kaspa, have a look at this, and they may not understand it or particularly care too much, what a great way to actually showcase to them how incredible Kaspa can be, and or not can be, how incredible Kaspa is, but how it can be utilized in the real world as well. And that, for me, that's really exciting. So I totally agree with you. If you can bring, if you're in the Kaspa ecosystem anyway, you're in the Kaspa space, you know how great it is. So why not bring a friend who doesn't know about it and just show it off to them, even if they're a Bitcoiner. Imagine showing a Bitcoiner this and then saying, look, this isn't Lightning, it's not a layer 2, this is on the base layer, and it's unreal. So I think it's going to be an absolutely awesome experience, man. I'm so glad you're putting this together.
We're so thrilled about it, man, and I could not agree with you more. It's the opportunity to showcase, you know, what we all believe in a tangible way that people can get behind. They can take pictures, they can get it on their own social media with what they're doing, and the event itself will be a lot of fun, and we're including a lot of kind of traditional conference features in here as well to also serve the CAS community that wants to be there and already knows about CAS, right? So, you know, we talked about the scavenger hunt. There's also going to be a product expo where a few different projects that are registering in advance are showcasing a solution they want to build on either Kaspa Layer 1 or one of the Layer 2s. And they'll be competing for a grant to actually have some partnership and development support and funding to get their project to real life. Similarly, we've got you know, a speaker panel that'll talk about kind of what's going on with CAS today and what's coming in the near future. So it's just a one-day event, and it's really designed to be the Kaspa economy, and it's hosted in a I always want to say like festival style environment, but it's not a music festival. It's not like high energy EDM, none of that, right? It's just a kind of casual grassroots environment. So we chose a place, Atelier Gardens, that is a 100-year-old film set studio in Berlin. So they've got a couple different buildings that we'll be using and a big open air garden. So folks will be able to visit, food trucks or hang out outside and get some air, or go through actual booths or listen to the speakers. And it all caps off with a Nacho first birthday after party. That one is a little bit more limited. We've got 500 available spots for the main event, and the after party limited to 100 because of the venue. But
limited to 99 now. Sorry.
There you go. Cool. But yeah, that's a rooftop party, DJ, fun, conversations with community members and chatting about the future of Kaspa and Nacho as well. A lot of that energy for anyone that went, we're using the amazing job they did on the Sydney Kaspa event after party as kind of inspiration for how that will feel and look. So it should be a lot more kind of intimate gathering with people that really want to be there and celebrate either Nacho or Kaspa or both.
Another thing I really love about this event is you've chosen to do it on a weekend, on a Saturday, because like going to events is awesome and it's great, but they're normally during a work day, and a lot of Caspians are workers. They work, they've got a job, a day job they have to attend to. So it's hard to get time off sometimes to be able to do events like this that a lot of people would want to go to. What I really like about this is you've chosen to do it on a Saturday, so it just appeals to all Caspians, no matter who you are. It's more of a chance of you being able to get there and to attend this. And I like that because it just shows that you've had everyday Caspians in mind for this as well. So I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. It was important to do it on a weekend, I should say, and then we chose the location too to be semi-central, for a lot of people in the CAS community, so that it's more cost-effective for you to get there and ensure that it's easy to get there, right? We had a lot of community members talking about hosting this event in the U.S., and we looked at the data on like where is Kaspa from, right? In terms of community members, where's the density of people? And there are a lot of people in the U.S., but there's not as many as I would have assumed or I would have thought, right? Comparing the different geographies, and we took a step and kind of looked through it, and we thought, well, it's a lot easier for folks in the U.S. to get to other places and to go there, right? There's easy access. Visas are not as difficult to obtain and things. So we went with Berlin to be kind of semi-central and try to make it as easy as possible in that same vein of choosing a weekend, right? Where it's not difficult for you to decide to go experience Kaspa like this. And I have to also say that there's a ton of different people from the community that have helped and ideated and helped us plan with this. I mean, Luke, LD1, we talked about him earlier. He and I spent countless hours talking about this, and he shaped some of the initial ideas and told me where I was crazy and we couldn't do certain things. And obviously, I mean, Rock the Kaspa and Wolfie and everyone else here. I mean, there's just so many people involved in making it happen. Luckily, Chris from our team is located in Germany, and his wife happens to be an interior designer and architect. So we've got a professional in terms of setting up the event and ensuring that it looks good and everything's functional and fire safe for the permits and stuff like this. So it's really well thought out. It's something that we care about a lot, and we've been working on for probably more than 90 days now, 3-4 months at this point. And just to be able to showcase it and release it and say, hey, go check it out at experience.kaspa.events is really cool to say. And you can do that now.
And I've been seeing in the timeline as well, it's funny actually, because there's been a few people that have gone, wouldn't it just be awesome just to have a Kaspa event, just a massive Kaspa event? And Nacho, you guys are doing it.
I can't tell you how many times I
awesome.
bit through my tongue and made it bleed when I saw those things. Like, don't say it. It's not ready. You can't do that.
I love it. I can see Wolf's had his hand up for quite a while. Sorry, Wolf, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if we covered it, so I just thought I'd ask the question. But do we know yet if the Kit Kat Club takes gas?
I don't think anyone has been brave enough to research it, Wolf.
That's a side quest. Me and you can sort that one out, Wolf. Don't worry. I'll help you. I'm a good friend like that.
Okay, but we're definitely eating real Kit Kats there. We have to.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, bro. We'll go and we'll find out. We'll have to source it out ourselves. But yeah, Ashton, this is going to be an incredible event. I'm really looking forward to it. And like I said, just a massive thank you for you guys for organising all this. Nacho have done an incredible job on it, and yeah, it's going to be huge. I know it is going to be massive. I was going to say, could you put the link to where people can find where to buy tickets from and stuff in the comments, and Levendi can put it up on the Jumbotron, unless he's already done that.
Yeah, it's actually in the comments. I linked that X post, and I just hit pin to space, so it should be on the Jumbotron there as well. I always join these from desktop, and for a month now, I have not been able to scroll through the Jumbotron. It's just something with X on desktop, I think, for me.
It's so annoying. I struggle with everything. I think normally it's just me. I'm not a boomer, but I certainly give off boomer vibes, and yeah, it's user error on my point. But X is fucking horrendous sometimes for spaces.
Yeah, definitely is. And I just saw, just to make sure that the comment was actually there, I saw Chad's comment. Give us a shout, love to help. I will absolutely take you up on that, Chad. So thank you for the offer. And on that note, we do have a couple of small handful, I think 3 or 4 sponsor slots left, and we are actively looking for vendors. So there's 2 methods in which we've thought about these vendors that are actually going to sell their products on site for CAS. One is actually just them showing up and representing their product set in person and themselves, right? So like Rock to Kaspa will be doing this. The German merch provider I mentioned will be doing this. But we've also got other ecosystem participants that maybe they can't make it to the event, or maybe they've got another big conference this same weekend that's most of their revenue, and they've just got to go to that one. So if you're a business or a service provider or something where you accept CAS and you see a potential to showcase your products here, reach out to us, because we're setting up a small kind of convenience store in the event where we'll have someone from the Nacho community manage it and kind of act as a cashier to accept CAS. But we're able to work in your products to this, where you'll actually get the revenue from on-site sales, and we'll be able to showcase your brand as a Kaspa merchant. So if that exists for you, or you're interested in sponsoring and getting a full booth set up to showcase your project or your product or something like this, reach out. We've got a few slots left, and we're actively finalizing that speaker schedule and booth setup. So now's the time.
The Kaspa convenience store is absolutely badass idea, by the way. Whoever thought of that, gold star.
Yeah, it is really cool, and it's a great way, I think, to include some people who feel like they can't show up for some reason. You know, maybe it's financial, maybe it's schedule, but you know, this is the first time we're hosting this event. It's the first time we've seen an event like this. So if you sell products and want to accept CAS for it, your product should be there.
And if this event goes well, is this going to be an ongoing thing that Nacho put on?
We would love to, absolutely. One of the big focuses of the revenue that goes into the foundation is events, real life adoption, right? We're not trying to compete with Kaspa Key or KEF or anything like this, right? These foundations and businesses, organizations are fantastic, and they do a ton of good work for Kaspa ecosystem. We really want to focus on the community aspect of it, the grassroots individuals, where we can get, you know, each person showing Kaspa to another. And events like this and funding kind of grassroots community projects where we can help them shape it and ensure that they're, you know, doing their work transparently and to benefit the whole ecosystem is the overarching goal of everything that we're doing. So we're very hopeful that this is just the inaugural event and it can continue each year.
I mean, just having another entity being able to fund these sorts of things for Kaspa in general is it's massive for just everyday Caspians anyway. Like you said, Kaspa Key are incredible. They're doing their thing. Kef are incredible. They're doing their thing. Nacho are incredible. They're doing their thing. Or Cat, the Cat Alliance are doing their thing. It's just for Caspians, everyday Caspians, all three of these people just doing what they're focusing on only helps Kaspa in general. So, yeah, more things like this are just it's awesome for adoption, and it's great to see. So I for one are really, really, really glad that you're putting this together.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the confidence you guys have given and the broader community is just huge. Yeah, every time we try something new, it's this feeling of like, oh, how's it going to be received? Is it something the community thinks we need? Are they going to be happy about it? You know, this type of thing. And it helps reinforce, I think, a lot of the momentum when people are engaged and bought in and things go according to plan like this. So absolutely the goal, and we're really excited. Last thing I'd say is just the websites again. If you want to check out the foundation details, it's just kat.foundation. And we were lucky enough to secure the kaspa.events domain. So this specific event you can see at experience.kaspa.events.
Literally can't wait. And just to make crystal clear, tickets are on sale now, are they?
They are. Yep. We did not integrate actual checkout on the website just to, I mean, for speed. And we've also got a few people who qualified for free event tickets through the NFT setup that we did a couple months ago. So there's a form on the site. You can secure your tickets now. Sometime in the next few days, you'll get an email with a payment link, and you can choose to pay in fiat or crypto. Or if you happen to be one of those people with a cat claim level 2 NFT, you can just check that box on the form, and your ticket will actually be free.
So cool, man. Absolutely
What
love
is
what
sorry, Chris, to cut you off. A question just come to my mind. What is a cat claim level 2 NFT, and how do people get their hands on it?
We talked about them a couple months ago. We actually did on BB Space one time. You can't get one now. They're not available, and it was just an airdrop reward for the minting campaign of Nacho Cats NFTs. So there were 4 levels of rewards. Level 1 was the free merch that came from Rock the Kaspa. Level 2 was these event tickets. Level 3 was something they actually hold for life, free access to any product that we create, no fees on products. And then that level 4, the last one, was sharing in 100 terahash of mining rewards for a year, which have now been live for about 2 weeks. And we actually upped the ante on that. It's not 100 terahash, it's about 125 terahash. So folks are already getting those reward payouts from the NFT campaign. So this one here for the event is kind of the last portion of those that we've got to make good on, and we're really excited to do it.
So cool, man. I for one think it's absolutely awesome what you guys are doing with Nacho, and I just love the fact that you're just constantly feeding back into the Kaspa ecosystem all the time, and I love that. I think it's you get a lot of bad actors in the space. It happens, but it's good to see, and it's good to highlight those that are active in not just thinking about pound signs. They're thinking about how can we grow, how can we develop Kaspa in general, and I love that. It's the same with Wolf, with what he's doing with wanting to branch out to South Africa with his franchise. I think it's awesome. I think that is that should be highlighted more than obviously when people get or when these bad actors are in the space. It's good to show the good as well as the bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we all have a shared interest, right, in this. If you're participating in the ecosystem for the right reason, and you actually care about the tech, and you're not just, when green candle, then we all benefit from this type of activity just as equally or proportionally, right? What we want to see is Kaspa adopted by the masses, and something that's a driving force in the world for good, for decentralized permissionless access to finance. And we can only do that through grassroots movements that actually capture the attention of people and build momentum. So it's definitely important. Wolf's work and a lot of other projects and contributors. But yeah, the event should be a lot of fun. So check it out.
Awesome, Ashton. Thanks so much for the updates. Do we have any more? Have you got any more tricks up your sleeve that you can give us?
No. No tricks up my sleeve and no air left in my lungs. I think we're good.
Absolutely brilliant.
Ashton, I just got to say, as you was explaining this event, I got two messages asking me, "Are you going there? I'm thinking of getting a ticket." So it's very, very well received already.
Very nice. And you told them yes, right? Because one thing I didn't mention was the Web3 poker tournament that we're talking about having on site. So you
Wait,
got to be
what?
there.
There's the Web3 poker. Wait, when did that happen?
Well, it was yesterday afternoon, if I remember correctly.
No, yeah, that's gonna be awesome as well. I did mention it to one of the lads that messaged me that there is going to be a poker tournament, live and direct, or several tournaments if you see it that way, on site.
Real tables, real dealers, feel the felt.
Yeah, the whole thing, man, the whole shebang. You know what? It's been a while since I've sat on a proper table and felt the felt, if you like.
I do like, but we should tell everyone no buy-ins, no gambling, no nothing, just fun prizes and fun games.
Oh, absolutely. Classic Web3 Poker Club style gaming. There is no money involved whatsoever. You guys are playing for prizes at your pleasure.
It's a shame.
Thank God.
I was really hoping that I can be the enforcer, get the money back from the guys that steal it. But yeah, if you guys want to play it this way,
We'll find you something to enforce, Wolf. Don't you worry.
good.
Yeah, I for one am glad because I was about to lose a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, me too, man. Chris from our team in marketing is he's got a ring from World Series of Poker. I don't know how far he got, or I don't know the whole story about it, but if he's playing poker, I don't think I should be.
And you know, I really want to sit down and have a heads-up game with him. That's been in the back of my mind ever since we had your first Nacho-sponsored event, and he told me the story of the ring. I've wanted to sit down and have a face-to-face, one-on-one with him, man. It's mate, if there is going to be time to do that, then we should do it.
Oh, just make sure you get yourself to the final table. I'm sure he'll be there.
I mean, I'm going to knock
give
him
him a
out before he
chance.
reaches it, though, so.
I love it. Good fighting talk. I mean, I can buy a ring off of Amazon as well, so just saying.
Oh, man.
So good. So good. Chris, I know you heard that, and I agree with him.
I love Chris, he's great. So yeah, good banter. Oh, okay, Ashton, is that everything you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you for the time.
Legend. Thanks for all the info. Absolutely fantastic. Nice bit of alpha there as well. Levendi, who do we have next?
So next up, we'll slide on over to Zeloswap. I just got to say, though, the Fun Apes Web3 Poker Club game has started 4 minutes ago. So if you're playing, get on those tables. You've got half an hour late reg as well. But Zeloswap, good evening, guys. You guys have been going through a lot of testing and a lot of protecting. Talk us through it, man. What's going on?
Hey guys, how are you doing?
All
Yeah.
good, brother. You?
Yeah, I'm great. So yeah, we've been testing and improving our infrastructure. Last week we talked about the audits, which was supposed that the final report should be on Tuesday. We have our final report, also Moonbound. We fixed all the bugs, but we're waiting for the auditing firm. They want to do co-marketing. So they are creating animations, and it took them a while. But they said that it should be ready earlier this week. So we're looking for an announcement soon about that. But yeah, both platforms, Zeloswap and Moonbound, are fully audited now. And a couple of weeks back, I also said that we've hired a team to hammer our backend infrastructure, and we've been improving it and fixing it ever since. And also we had someone on Twitter, on Telegram, point out a bug, an issue in our backend. So we ended up hiring that guy, and he helped us also improve the backend infrastructure. And yeah, that's it from the auditing side.
Absolutely love it, man. Did you miss out quite an important thing, the fact that you got DDoS attacked, really substantially DDoS attacked, and like it just, you blew it off like it was nothing. I mean, that is huge.
Yeah, so day 4 after releasing on Casplex, we had also a DDoS attack. It was like 5.6 million requests. It was nothing compared to this one. We went down for like 2-3 seconds. We identified the issues, we fixed them, and today we got another DDoS attack. Nearly 17 million requests. We handled them in 7 minutes, no slowdowns, and 0 downtime.
That is absolutely insane, and you must be really pleased with yourselves about that one, because that's a huge attack. A couple of things I wanted to ask is, and this is, I suppose, a general question for anyone. One, why would someone spend that amount? Like, I'm assuming that is a costly attack there. Why would someone spend that amount of money to do this? I suppose it's an obvious answer, maybe. But one, why would they spend that sort of resource to do that? And two, it's pretty cool that they have spent that money to do that, because it's allowed you to stress test even more. And I mean, it ultimately came to nothing for them. So they actually lost a lot of money doing that attack.
Yeah, so basically, the previous DDoS attack, which took us down for a couple of seconds, I suspect they are the same attacker, because they tried to exploit the same bug, which we already fixed. So I assume that they were trying to see if the bug is still up, which we had already fixed. And yeah, not sure about their intentions, but then like I don't know what to say, to be honest.
No, that's fair enough. I think, like, again, this isn't my world, so I don't fully understand it. But an attack like that is a substantial attack. That must have cost a significant amount of resource or money.
Maybe not. Infrastructure is pretty much cheap as of nowadays, and there are tools that help you do those kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not that costly anymore. It will cost like a few dollars for that amount of requests. But yeah, it's not that expensive to do.
Oh, fair enough. I thought it might have been, but I mean, either or, it's good that in a way, in a weird way, it's good that they did try it again. This time, a substantial amount, because it's just proven that ZellaSwap can deal with that. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And I love how you just sort of left it out of what you were talking about. I was half expecting that to be most of what you were going to talk about, because it's so huge. But I mean, kudos to you guys. You're obviously building out something incredible. And again, I bet you just can't wait to get on mainnet now.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We can handle a lot more traffic. It was only one instance. It scaled up to 2. We had the limits to 3 instances, but it did not reach it. But of course, on the mainnet, we will have better servers and higher scalability. So yeah, expect just.
So not only did you demolish the attack, but it was done on testnet with half the capacity, pretty much.
Yes.
Fucking hell. Shit.
So good, man. It genuinely is. I am looking forward to ZellaSwap coming to mainnet as well. I think you guys have done an incredible job so far with building out. So yeah, like, credit where it's due. You guys have obviously building out something great, which is good to see. I think I'm looking forward to a proper DEX on Kaspa. I think it's needed, definitely. That's not to say that the marketplaces beforehand haven't been incredible. They've done their job, and really appreciate getting to this stage. But as we move on to smart contracts now, we can all enjoy true decentralized exchanges. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Is there anything else you wanted to add, or is that you done?
I want to say that since we launched on Kaspex, we've introduced Beta 6, which has many of our users' requests and many of their feedbacks. We're going through every feedback that is being sent or written on our Telegram or on X. So yeah, we've added some features to make it easier to use, and we fixed a lot of bugs, and we added even multi-chain support, so people could easily switch between layer tools. That's it from the user experience side. I want to share some stats. Yesterday we shared some stats for us on Kaspex. We did around 26,000 swaps. We have like 5,000 unique users, and we did like 100,000 transactions in total, and that should account to around 80% of all traffic, tap-related traffic on Kaspex.
Massive, man. That's a huge achievement. So good. Oh, it's great. It is really good. And sorry.
Sorry, mate. I keep cutting you off. It's my bad. I have so many questions that come to me, and I end up forgetting to ask them because of so many things in the back end. I just want to fire them out. I keep cutting you off. I'm so sorry, man. But I want to just ask about CSwap. I saw you made a post with them 3 hours ago. They're
Oh yes.
using they're integrating your software.
They are using our underlying liquidity pools. Yes, they are a DEX aggregator, which can route your swap through the best rate on a DEX. So if you get a better deal on DEX A than DEX B swapping those tokens, they will route you to there.
Cool. So as an what difference is that with you guys? So I'm not really, I don't really get all of this fully, so I'm trying to understand it.
Okay, so the DEX as a DEX controls the underlying pool, is responsible for your swaps on the pool, for providing liquidity, for earning fees. It's the entire system. A aggregator is a piece of software that connects to multiple DEXs. And let's say you want to swap 100 CAS for some nacho. If on our DEX, the rate, let's say, is 1 CAS for 1 nacho, and on another DEX, DEX B, the rate is 1 CAS for 1.1 nacho, it will choose the other DEX. So they do not control liquidity; they only route liquidity. As a DEX, we control the liquidity pools. Yeah, so the DEX creates the liquidity pools, is responsible to managing them and all that stuff. As an aggregator, you only talk to a certain DEX or multiple DEXs.
It's like a Go compare for DEXs. I think only British people will understand that one, but yeah.
Dude, I was thinking about the exact same joke. I was like, it's Expedia for DEXs.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh dear. Levendi, have you got any more questions you want to fire at Zealous?
No, sorry, that answered everything. Thank you for explaining that for me and dumbing it down. I appreciate it.
Sure, anytime.
Love it. And someone did ask me a question maybe a week ago now. I can't remember. Time goes so quick now. But they were saying about like, Chris, do you trust Zealous Swap? Because I'm very cautious of everything. And well, I was honest with them. I said, I've spoken to you guys, and you, again, from what I can gather, you seem to be extremely legitimate. But I think even you'd agree that anybody who's using any DEX, because this is all new as well coming to Kaspa now, anybody who's using any DEX, and hopefully there's many DEXs out there as well. We don't want sort of monopolies. We want people to have different choices.
Exactly.
But when new dexes come out, or you're testing out dexes, even trusted dexes, you should always do it in a sensible way. Like, don't load your complete like cold wallet over to a dex or anything like that. Like, take a bit of caution, test things out a bit. And I think that you even gave that advice. And I think that's why I trust you guys. But it is important for people to to test things out and try things out just in case. And I think you obviously agree with that as well.
I totally agree. And I always say, when you are testing a new protocol, or it's the first time testing a certain protocol, even if it was famous, the first time, you should do it through a new wallet, just to load it with a little bit of funds, test it, make sure everything is legit, and by time you can start testing it to connecting it to your main wallet. I still don't like that. You should always have two wallets, one main wallet and another wallet. When you want to connect to the apps, you send some money from your main wallet to the other wallet, and you interact with that app. And then when you finish interacting with it, you send your money to the main wallet.
Yeah, 100%. That is like the best way to insulate yourself. Things, have a burner wallet always for anything you interact with, any DApp at all. Just always have a burner wallet.
Exactly.
Good advice there. Awesome. Anything else you wanted to add? I haven't even asked Levendi if we've had any questions at all. God, terrible.
No, it's all good. Everything's been sort of new and asked straight away from us up here on the stage. There's been a lot of love, and one or two questions that just literally been answered now by Nacho in the comment sections, which was awesome.
Amazing. So yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add at all?
Now we are working on introducing features that users requested, and fixing some known bugs. That basically will be our beta 7. Yeah, so that's it.
I've just got a thought. A question has come to my mind. I tested. I had about half an hour spare, so I tested your software and testnet. But I think you've upgraded since then, and more testing needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll try and carve out some time and get back on it again. It was pretty smooth. I've got to say, it was and it was an old version as well. I don't know how many times it's been updated since that time I tested, but it was really, really smooth. It took less than half an hour for me to do everything on there. I just figured everything out. It was easy, nice to maneuver through it. I was self-explanatory with the information there. Transactions seem to be going through all really quick. It was awesome seeing a Kaspa transaction on EVM, to be honest. That brought back memories of using EVM back in the heydays. But yeah, no, I've got to say, it was really, really smooth.
I really love that feedback, especially that it was very easy. That's what we've been working on, and we have come up with ways to improve also that, which will be coming in the next beta. For the updates, we do major updates, so it's we package many changes into one update and we pushed it at once. So since we tested, we pushed one update, which has introduced a lot of features. It's our beta 6. I suspect you tested beta 5. Yeah, so in beta 6, we introduced multi-chain, but we thought that IGRA was coming this week. That's why we introduced it. But yeah, apparently it will be in next month, mid next month.
Awesome, man. Yeah, so you will be testing out on IGRA as well when they're sort of obviously live with their testnet.
Yes.
Awesome. That's what we like to see. Because again, I want to see a few different variations of L2s as well. I think that would be fantastic.
Exactly.
Ashton, you had your hand up. Sorry.
Yeah, all good. I just put it up. I just thought of a question. We were talking last week about multi-language support. I figured maybe I can just ask publicly and we can talk about it. How are you guys doing on that?
Yeah, so we've had our Spanish translator translate the decks. We need to implement them, but we're working on bugs now, so no time for that. But it should come in beta 7. Other languages is very hard to find good translators, so we're searching. Yep.
Yeah, you know why I'm asking.
Yeah.
We want to do the exact same thing with Moonbound. So
Yes.
yeah, it's a good opportunity, I think, to call out to the community if there are any folks who are willing to translate from English to another language. Reach out to Zealous or us, and we'll get you in contact for both products. It would be, I think, it would be really helpful for the whole CAS ecosystem if Dex or a launchpad like Moonbound were available in heavy used languages, right? Chinese and Spanish and English and German and things like this.
Exactly.
I can see Triage down there. He's Portuguese. He might be able to sort something out. Full Face as well. He can do a bit of Greek. CryptoPumpz. He can translate to Irish. Oh dear.
Sorry to leave you alone on the joke, man. I couldn't unmute fast enough. That was hilarious.
It's so hard sometimes hosting because you say something and it's just complete silence, so you have no idea if the reception's good or not. But yeah, we just go for it. I can see CryptoPumpz really likes that joke. He's he's all about that.
Mate, you said his name correctly this time round. Hey, he deserves a pint. Big shout out to CryptoPumpz. So he's currently streaming our show over on YouTube and on X via video format. So a big shout out to you, CryptoPumpz. Follow him, guys. Put notifications on because he also hosts Sunday Roast, where we go through all the posts on the timeline that we interact with or like and absolutely demolish them.
He's a top man. Love CryptoPumpz. So yeah, definitely. If you're listening to this, go follow him on YouTube. He's a fantastic content creator, and yeah, he gives out really good content. So definitely give him a follow. There you go. See, I saved it.
Yeah.
Now he does.
Let's go real quick before I pass the mic over to Chad. A question has come through from Kaspa Queen for Nacho and the after party. Does the cat claim cover the event and after party, or just the after party?
Both, everything. All good. Just make sure you select both on that form. The main event is pre-selected. You can't turn that off because you've got to have a main event ticket to come to the after party. So just check both and choose your cat claim NFT and make sure you put in an email address where we can actually reach you.
Awesome. Nice one. Thanks for that. Sorry, I was reading a message at the same time and I chose to speak and just made that awkward silence. Bloody hell. Nice one. Thank you for answering that, Ashton. So I want to pass the mic on over to Chad. Great person in the space. Want to hear all about what's been happening with you, man. Welcome to the stage. I think your first time on the BB stage. Or...
Do I get a prize?
Yeah. Chris will give you a hug.
Free ticket to the trip in Germany. Nice. Hey, yeah, it's yeah. It's great to be on. I've followed and watched all the shows, so it's good to get caught up. And I love the banter and the community vibe. It's so cool. So feel free to jump in and ask any questions. I'll go through some of the stuff that we've been working on, and for those that know us or don't know us, sorry if it's redundant, but if you've been part of Kaspa for the last 3.5 years, then you know us. And there's been a little bit of a transition that's happened recently. I don't know, just a little bit, and stuff going on. But I just want to say, overall, everything's sort of staying the same for us. And if not, we're doubling down on our strategy around education, equipping, adoption, and community-centric, real-world support kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool how stuff happens. Crap hits the fan, and you can react one way or the other, and we've just chosen to be positive and break through and keep going. So some of the things that you've probably seen is hopefully everyone here is following Kaspa Commons X account. Yes, everyone? Okay. So it was a channel that we set up actually before the main, in quotes, Kaspa account took a pause. We decided we needed something to carry on, and so pretty much May 6th, I think we launched, and we've been pushing out, all kinds of content. It's a little more freer. There's a little bit of a voice to it. Maybe less, in quotes, corporate kind of vibe. It's very freeing in that regards. But Kaspa Commons, I mean, the Commons, if it's a common place where everyone gathers and grows, but no one owns it. So that's why we chose the name. So it's very much community-centric, focused, and all the other socials are continuing. So that's no change there. If you've seen the stuff we put out, we're really focused on education, brand building, and equipping and adoption initiatives, and across the entire ecosystem, but probably a stronger lean into real world focus, real world use case, that kind of stuff. So that's just kind of a slight bent, but that channel itself has really opened up wide to support, everybody. And you've seen the Crescendo series, the Merchant series, Enterprise Market series is coming up. I'll share a little bit about that. We're also going to introduce probably a little more fun stuff. We had a little contest a couple weeks ago, and we're sending out some merch prizes. But really, the entire focus of what we've been doing for the last 3.5 years is really to encourage the community, educate, equip, empower, and release. And so that's what we're going to keep going. You might have seen the Kaspa Accepted Here series on YouTube. My face and some awesome merchants around the world. We're going to continue that and really just promote and celebrate Kaspa in the real world. So we've interviewed a few amazing merchants and ambassadors, and it was awesome. Dev and Research series on Kaspa.org. We just released, I think, the second or third article, Elliot, so you can read that. We are developing a new battle card, so that should come out soon, just to update the old one, as is a lot of other people. So we really encourage a lot of people to go for it and design. Some of the new things that you've probably seen, K-Force or Kaspa Force, Daniel Souza from Portugal, and another kind of initiated the idea of everyone buying $5 on Sundays, and I kind of latched onto it. And I went, K-Force, we should call it K-Force, and let's turn it into something bigger. And so it's kind of like a ambassador light program where a lot of people doing little things, and I've handed it off to to Daniel, and just supporting them with design and ideas. So that's really exciting little initiative that hopefully just will blow up and go well beyond what we ever thought. So that's kind of happening with the K-Force. Ambassadors are still going. It's a little different. We've had it's kind of less of a overall program now, and we're really trying to equip and release ambassadors to kind of come up with their own community marketing fund, to resource funds if they need them for events. KEF has supported some recent initiatives in Africa around events and meetups, so that's still going, and we're supporting them. So if they need any resources, that's going to be us right there with them. Something that I'm not sure if it's totally public yet, but we've been talking about this thing called Kaspa U. So kind of like Kaspa University, but it's a major focus into pressing into the academic world. And it's actually been on the burner for probably 2 years. There's been a website, a page that's been sitting there on Kaspa.org, not public, but Maja from Poland came up with an idea about an entire program, and this is kind of her baby. She brought it to me, and we've amalgamated kind of the ideas into Kaspa U. Nothing public, nothing overly organized, but really trying to bring together like the blockchain clubs around the world, possibly events, but tapping into professors and academics, and the goal being that Kaspa should be in every curriculum in college universities. So it also includes potential hackathons and startup weekends and all that stuff. So that's something that's kind of brewing in the background. Other things we're helping out with Kai, just in kind of supporting them in some ideas, but we're going to push out a new series probably in a couple weeks, maybe a month, around industries around the world and their traditional standards that they use and how Kaspa will disrupt it. And so we're going to highlight 63 different industries and enterprise markets, show what they use as their standards when it comes to data and management and fintech, and just share how Kaspa can disrupt it for a lot of reasons. But one of them I'm really excited about is the fact that it will probably become a go-to database for entrepreneurs and startups asking the questions, what can I build with Kaspa? And you'll be able to go to this database site and filter it and come up with some amazing ideas. Which also leads me to one other initiative will probably happen sometime in the fall, but we're going to release a Kaspa Commons website. And we're going to focus on 8 user groups: developers, miners, merchants, enterprise markets, entrepreneurs, academics, researchers, and regular users. And so it'll be a portal of resources and connections. So that's kind of on our plate. Yeah, we're I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but been talking to Evanation. I don't know if you guys have seen him or checked out his new YouTube channel, but he does 3D art, and he made this amazing Kaspa K. And so I'm kind of working with him on a potential lamp series. So that might be coming to a merchant store near you. Maybe Rock the Kaspa can feature it. Yeah, it's we're busy. I mean, we're working with Rock the Kaspa. We're working with Kaz Media, working with Crumpet Media. Boop, boop. So that's about it, I think, for now.
Yeah. So you've not been up to much. It's so good to see, man. Me personally, again, I love your style of branding and marketing.
Thanks, man.
I always have. And yeah, so I'm really glad that you sort of just have carried this on via Kaspa Commons. I think it's really, really good. I think it's really healthy, and I'm glad to see it, to be honest with you. Because again, with Kaspa Commons, there's a bit more Chad to it, or a bit more rhubarb media to it, which is good. It's a bit more
a little
free,
cheekiness here and there. I don't know.
Exactly. So I think ultimately it may be a good move in the long run. Time will tell. But what I really like about it is you just sort of cracked on and done it off your own back. You just went, okay, right, we'll move to Kaspa Commons and we'll keep this going. And I like that. I think that's a good thing to, and a good attitude to have towards things that happen in the space.
Cool.
And I'm really looking forward to all the things that you've mentioned. I really, really love the K-Force. I think it's such a good idea.
Love it.
And just being able to just initiate that $5 of buying Kaspa at a certain time. It's just it's like you said. It's stopped it. Instead of a lot of people, instead of a few people doing a lot, this gives everybody a chance. It gives a lot of people a chance to do a little bit. So I think that's just awesome, man.
Cool. Yeah.
Sorry, Levendi, have we got any questions for Chad at all in the chat?
None have come through in the time, but I wanted to say a big shout out and thank you publicly here while you're on the space for the branding of Crumpet Media. Your work was amazing.
Thanks, bro.
Massive improvement to what we had before.
It's tasty.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's great. I love it. You know, I play so much with video editing software in the back end, and the amount of videos that I've played around with that the boys haven't even seen yet it's just so much fun, man.
We're actually we're working on something for you guys. Some little bumper videos that will come out soon, but we'll hand them over to you soon.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
nice. Looking forward to seeing that. Nice one, man.
And if Ashton's still on the call, definitely give me a shout. I want to help out with the event, Power and Truth. Let's do it.
Sorry, took a second to find my unmute button, but I'm here, and thank you. Yes, and I saw your little quote there, and it's awesome.
Nice.
I'm glad that you saw that and recognized what it meant.
Let's do it.
It's cool.
I like it because when we first had the Crumpet Media logo, I thought this is awesome. This is a brilliant logo. And then Rhubarb presented his logo, and then you put them side by side. It's just honestly, you look at our original one, and you just go, "That is shit." And why did we ever think that was a good idea? But it just shows you what good branding can actually do to a product. And again, I love the Crumpet Media logo
Nice.
now. I think it works so
It's
well.
fun.
Yeah, it is.
Sure. Yeah. If anybody has any questions, or if you want to DM me or anything to talk about, outreach, marketing, or if you need any support with creative related to Kaspa stuff, give us a shout. We obviously have other clients and we do work. Right now, the CMF is going to be phased out, so we're working on our own, volunteer and working out of our own bags. But still, we want to keep giving back to the community and supporting as much as we can. So give us a shout. We'll tell you no if we can't, but don't hesitate if you need help with an event and a meetup, whatever you think. You've seen what we've done over the years. If we can help you out, give us a shout.
So good, man. And with what you said there about the CMF obviously being phased out, you will still obviously take donations and things like that from people that might want to or appreciate what you do. So like I said, for the Rock the Kaspa merch store, nothing changes there. The 10% profits that we get obviously still will go to, whether it's called the CMF anymore, I don't know, but it will go to Rhubarb Media or Rhubarbarians, whatever it looks like, that obviously still go to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Because we obviously appreciate the branding and everything you do for Kaspa as well. So I think it's a new chapter for KaspaCommons as well now. So it's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it grow. And if you're in the audience and you don't follow KaspaCommons, now's your chance. Go follow KaspaCommons.
Cool.
They produce good stuff.
Thank you, gents.
No problem, Chad. Thank you. Levendi, any questions?
Hey, yes. So we had one. I think it's for ZellaSwap. I'm gonna read it out. The person did say they don't know English, but we'll answer it anyway. ZellaSwap are not up here. I think they dropped down, but they were asking about the airdrop and how they go about testing. Maybe join next week when we get them up, or hit them up and you get your answer. I'm not sure if any one of you guys up on stage know the details of it, but I think they were pretty much asking if whatever they were doing, however many transactions they were doing, was enough to get the airdrop.
I can tentatively talk briefly on it just because we talked about it a little bit last week. Lewis had said last week that all the activities on the testnet DEX are counted, and they've got a points system. And the only thing that's not included in that is NFT staking and unstaking, because there was a limited amount of them and it wouldn't be fair for them to do it if not everyone could claim it. So everything on the DEX counts towards the airdrop, other than NFT related features. And there is no easy math that they've shared publicly on how you can calculate that. And it's to avoid people botting the system. So all the activities count that are on Kasplex testnet. They're all being tracked. There's points for them. And they talked about a little bit of a bot punishment system in that points math, where if they detect like bot activity or people gaming the system, it actually reduces the airdrop reward. So any organic activity is good and leads to your airdrop points increasing.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jinx, mate. 1, 2, 3, padlock. Fuck. Where the hell did that come from? I haven't said that in 20 odd years. Jesus Christ. Showing my age now.
No.
But
Oh, sorry, I can't speak yet until Ashton says my name 3 times.
What silliness we used to get out to as kids. Bloody hell, man. Yeah, no, awesome. Thank you for answering that. That makes a lot of sense, actually, Ashton. Appreciate it. Hopefully the person understood and may not need to use a voice translator. Hope you got it, mate.
Could you say it in what is it, Turkish?
Yeah, could you say that again, but in Turkish?
Yeah, just say it in Turkish, please, Ashton.
No, I only speak American.
American.
I love it.
American and American Sign
American.
Language. That's what I can do for you.
That's one thing I don't understand about sign language, because, like, well, I was going to say, obviously, people know, but you may not know. My son's deaf, and we have to communicate. We use BSL, British Sign Language, and I remember, like, I'm trying to learn it as much as I can, but I'm terrible at it. But I just think to myself, why don't we just have one, like, if you're starting from scratch, just start with one generic sign language that everyone can understand. But you've got ASL, you've got BSL, you've got Makaton. It's like, why? Why have you got all these different sign languages?
Yeah, it's actually pretty intense. It's funny. I didn't know that your son was deaf, or that you were involved in this at all. My original career goals when I was a kid was to be a sign interpreter in courts and stuff. I took a lot of it in high school and college, and I love it. But I remember we used to have that same conversation. We'd go to, like, Starbucks hosts deaf coffee nights, where, I mean, no one's restricted from going, but they invite the deaf community, and it's a place for them to get together and speak in their native language. And as students, we would go and participate, and it was a fun thing to talk with people who actually natively use this all the time. But it's true. It literally is. Every language has its sign language version. And we were always told it's because of like colloquial terminology in cultures. You know, you want to be able to showcase the same slang you can say in UK English in that sign language. But that's cool, man. It's cool that you're involved in that and have an opportunity to learn it.
That actually makes perfect sense, because, like, if for whatever reason he better not ever say it when he's older, but he wanted a fag, that would mean a completely different thing in America.
100%. We, when you're a teenager in high school, you're fascinated in any foreign language class with the profanity, right? It's like, how do I say the bad words? That's what I really want to learn. And we found out that Chinese Sign Language uses a simple middle finger for one of their common words. So if you ever see, a bus of students getting off in your country and they're all flipping you off, maybe they're just deaf and talking to each other.
Love that. I think it's absolutely awesome that you, like, again, never knew that about you. You wanted to work in as a deaf interpreter in courts. Like, that's just, what made you want to get into that? That's crazy.
Frankly, it all started because I didn't want to. I failed. I didn't do well in Spanish my freshman year of high school, and I'm like, I want to, like, switch this out and do something different. And sign was just this new thing that was popular in school when I was there. We had a new teacher that was really passionate about it, and she, like, started a little movement. And I ended up taking all 3 of her classes and then TAing for her twice, and then doing 2 classes my freshman year of college. But it's tough pay. They're kind of like teachers, they don't get what they deserve.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, when we go to certain events every now and then, you see, like you said, you see 2 deaf people talking to each other. It's like they're doing kung fu. It's unreal. The speed they go is just insane. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm never ever going to get this. But we just have to push on. I try my hardest. My partner and daughter are much better at doing it than I ever am. So hopefully I can use them to some degree as well.
Built-in interpreters.
Yeah, exactly that. Awesome. You learn something new every day. Levendi, do we have any more questions?
No questions have come through. Just a lot of thanks and love to everybody. There's been quite a few guests up on stage, and appreciate all your time this evening. Thank you all for joining and letting us know what you guys do and updates and how you're helping the ecosystem expand. It's really, really awesome to hear, man, with all these new things coming out. Really, really love to see. Honestly, this ecosystem is expanding by day. And it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, man. You'd love to see it. You'd love to see it.
100%, man. It's awesome. It is awesome to see. Big things for Kaspa, man. Like, it really is. I know price action may get people down, but again, if you focus on the tech, it's just banger after banger after banger. It's awesome. Like, I still can't get over Crescendo. I can't. It was such a feat in technology. Like, it's so amazing. And what's even better is, or not better, but like it was so seamless that if you didn't know about 10 blocks per second, you'd have never known that anything happened anyway. And that is just it, like massive credit to all the devs that worked on it, because being able to make something so complex just transition so smoothly. I mean, what incredible work that they've done. So yeah. And so Crescendo was massive. I loved doing the BB Space live on that and actually seeing it go from 1 block per second to 10 blocks per second. It was huge. And there's always that moment where you're just sort of holding your breath going, is something going to go wrong now? Like you're just thinking, is something going to go wrong? Is something going to go wrong? And so there's a bit of that playing with it. But no, it's been running for a month now, absolutely perfectly, does exactly what it should do. And again, if you didn't know that the transition was happening, you'd have never known that there was a transition because it was that smooth. So massive kudos to the devs and everybody who worked on that. Just incredible. And now we've got these layer 2s that are coming online to have base roll-ups and smart contracts. Just again, it's just one thing after the other that it's just so bullish for Kaspa. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. It's exciting, honestly. Seeing all these developments happening, and from where we started BB and started to get to know everybody back then, like pre KRC20, to where everything is now, man, it's just incredible. You know, we've not even reached 1 year yet of BB. We're 1 week away from 55 weeks. No, I'm joking. It's been a year of pure incredible magic in the Kaspa ecosystem, I've got to say. I've met so many wonderful people through BB, through networking, through interacting with you all across the timeline. It's been incredible, to be honest, to say the least.
No, it has, man. Again, likewise, the amount of people you meet that are just genuine good people in the space that you would have never have met if you didn't have an interest in Kaspa. So again, community is massive. It's awesome. And it's good to see. I absolutely love it.
And you know something, Chris? I found myself in a few different conversations with different people, but saying and quoting the same thing where I first met and got into Kaspa, and the story lands on meeting you and Siam Kid at the event every single time. You know, that felt like deja vu today. I had that conversation 3 times with different people. It's incredible, but it always falls down to networking and getting yourself out there is why I tell that story when people ask me. If you're just not willing to take the necessary steps, so you're not going to be able to network properly, just go out there, man. Get out your comfort zone, push out and meet people.
100%. And it's that butterfly effect that you don't know, like, unless you do it, you don't know what incredible things can come of it. And that's exactly right. Like that event was awesome. Loved doing the event. But we obviously got talking, and now look what we've created within the Kaspa ecosystem. It's awesome. And it all sprung from one little event in London, which is why, again, like what Nacho are doing for the Kaspa experience. Just go, put yourself out there. It's awesome, and you never know what incredible things can happen and come to fruition just from one chance meeting, or just meeting people that are like-minded and bouncing ideas off of each other in face to face. I think events like that, I've always said it, face to face events are just, I think they do so much good and magic for Kaspa adoption. So yeah, just go to them, and trust me, even if you don't know, you like Kaspa for whatever reason, but you don't know much about the tech, or you don't know much about the thing. I'm a bricklayer. And these things you can learn. And I didn't learn this through anyone else but talking to community, like understand, like wanting and really pushing out the need for learning about Kaspa, because I had an interest in it. And if I can do it, and with no computer background at all, you can do it, I promise you. And you don't have to feel stupid going to these things. Go to them and you'll be surprised at the response you get from people when you just ask questions. It's awesome. So definitely go to events when you get the opportunity to, because it really does help.
Also, if you're a bricklayer like Chris and you want to get into CAS, you do have the perk of upgrading to 10 bricks per second. So you've got that to look forward to.
Yeah, and you get the perk of going on the BBC and showing Kaspa to the world. What? Undercover or guerrilla style marketing? We love it, baby.
Mate, that was awesome. How you guys got into the BBC was insane. And the fact that they didn't even blur out the t-shirts, where they're notoriously known for doing it, it's bloody awesome. Bloody awesome.
You know what? We were prepared for that, and we were thinking, I bet they will blur it out. But we were hoping that, especially with Tom's t-shirt, Rock the Kaspa, we were hoping that maybe someone who was editing just turned around to one of the interns and said, like, or to someone in the BBC and just said, "Is Rock the Kaspa offensive?" And they'll go, "No, it's just a song." All right, cool. So we were hoping that would happen, and it didn't get blurred out or anything. So we got Kaspa on many eyeballs via the BBC. So yeah, next one's ITV or Sky News. We'll keep pushing.
Let's go. I think with that, it's time to end the show. And what an absolute banger of a show we've had today. Looking forward to seeing you guys testing more of the L2. Looking forward to seeing all the updates coming from projects, friends, and partners out here. Again, if you're playing poker today, get your ass on the tables. The late reg is almost over. Good luck on the tables. And we'll meet us back on Spaces on Wednesday. We'll be diving into the original project on ETH that is sponsoring my events this week. So looking forward to hearing what they're doing. And I may even speak to them about Kaspa, see what they feel about the tech after listening to us today. So yeah, with me, that is a good night. Thank you again. See you guys on the timeline and in the BB chat. Good night from me.
And yeah, a massive thank you to all the speakers. You've been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and keeping us all updated of what's going on in the Kaspaverse. And a massive thank you to all the people in our audience that have tuned in and listened to us talking about everything Kaspa. Without you, we wouldn't have a show. So really, honestly do appreciate that. And we hope you came for the blockchain, but stayed for the banter. Have a good night, guys, and see you next week.